In one of my recent videos, I told you guys that you should comment in the comment section with what you have in regards to starting a small poultry farm in 2026. And one of you commented that they already have a house. And that is very good. So in this video, I'm going to give you at least a small budget of how much you need to start at least a poultry farm of 120 birds. This is going to be very interesting, very helpful. Get your notebook, sit down, listen, give us a like and a comment in the comment section, and let's get right started. If you are watching me for the very first time, my name is Asperia and I'm a very passionate farmer who shares knowledge about farming, about everything that brings value in your life. You are welcome. Now, for starters, one of the things that is very hard, like to start in poultry farming, is a poultry house. Now, poultry house sometimes takes some good money, especially if you're just starting, because it's going to require, construction if you do not have anything at all. And so if you have it already, like you have a house already, maybe you have been doing poultry from there, maybe you've been having local hens, or you just constructed it new and you are just waiting for money, to start. This video is going to really help you. Now, what you need, now that you have a house, you're going to start like this. Go and acquire some of the things that you're going to need to use in the poultry house. First of all, you can buy feeders, you can buy drinkers, you can buy the brooder paper, you can buy the taplings. The taplings are this you can buy because you are going to need it, and then you can buy some bulbs, you can do some wiring because you are going to need light. You can buy, and those things that I'm saying, you can choose to buy the cheap ones. Now, when you're starting, do not let anything stand before you. So this means that you're going to start with what you can manage. Don't struggle to buy something that is very, very expensive, yet you're going to bring a small number of birds. And I'm talking like this to people who are going to do layers. If you're bringing layers, you are going to follow this advice. And so start buying those things, and those things are not very, very expensive. You can actually buy them one by one at a cheaper price. Another thing that I'm going to advise you, buy at least bigger feeders and bigger drinkers. Now, for a poultry house like mine, whereby this room has close to 120, I have about 3 drinkers. Now, drinkers are going to change. At day one, you're not going to use these ones that are here. You might have to buy smaller drinkers. So you buy like 3 small drinkers, and they are very, very affordable. And then as the chickens grow, you're going to buy 3 big drinkers. The reason why you're going to buy big drinkers is because you need to save money on the labor. When you buy these ones, each is 10 liters. And so this means that you're going to put 30 liters of water, and this water is going to take the whole day. When the birds are drinking, you don't have to keep changing or to keep adding, because they are actually 30 liters compared to when you buy a small drinker of 5,000 Uganda shillings, and then in a day you're going to add water 3 times. That increases your labor. And for feeders, I'm also going to encourage you to buy a relatively bigger feeder that can accommodate close to 20 hens. And so in here, I have close to 4 feeders. As simple as that. Make everything simple. Do not complicate things. Feeder here, I have different types of feeders. Now, one is costing 40,000 Uganda shillings. Now, 40,000 is much money, but in the long run, you realize that it is cheaper, because now if you're doing layers, as time goes on, these birds start jumping up and down, flying here and there. As they jump, they fall on those feeders and they get broken. But this one is a little bit stronger compared to the other one. Now, the other one is big. It can also accommodate many, many birds, but it is about 17,000, but it's not very durable. So if you're starting small, you actually need to invest in something that is going to stay for the entire time that you're going to be with those birds. So start around and buy those few things. And so the money that you need to buy birds. Now for birds, you're going to buy each at 5,100 Uganda shillings. So that means you need close to 650 to be able to get these hens at your place, and you're going to buy them at day one. So relatively 1 million can bring for you the birds. It can also buy feeders, it can buy drinkers, it can help you organize the brooding space, the brooder. It can also do some little bit of putting light. You can buy some, you're going to need some charcoal, you're going to need some pots so that you can be able, all the stoves that you're going to use on heat. So at least 1 million can be able to help you have everything together. And then as you finish everything, you have the birds, you have the feeders, you have the drinkers, you have everything, but you have no feeds. So the next money that you're going to plan for is going to be for feeds. Now for feeds, if you're doing layers for starters, it's going to depend on which company you're going to use to buy, and you're going to use for your feeds. If you're using Kafika feeds, you're going to start with pre-starter. Pre-starter, they are going to eat it from day 1 up to day 7, the very first week, and from there they start on starter, whereby starter you can be able to mix it on the farm. So pre-starter you're going to just buy, they are in a pellet form, and a kilo goes for around 4,200. It's not very expensive, and each day they are going to consume close to 1 kilogram, between 1 kilogram to 1.5 kilograms as they continue to grow. So you might find that in 7 days they are going to need around 10 kilograms, which is not very expensive. Now the biggest expense is going to come in feeding from week 2 up to infinity. There they are going to be eating a lot, and then you keep on planning. Now another thing that you're going to do to minimize the cost of production, you're going to learn how to mix these feeds yourself. You can start by going to get the feed formulations from those people where you're going to buy the concentrates. Now different concentrates have different mixing ratios. So what we use here, I shared a video about food formulations from day 1 up to week 45. You can check on it, and you're going to learn more on how you can mix feeds on the farm, and that is going to be very cheap for you. But when you choose to buy the feeds that are already mixed, you realize that you're going to buy a kilogram at around 3,000, 4,000, all depending on the price of maize. But if you mix the feeds yourself, it's going to be very cheap compared to when something has happened here. So endure the noise because the video is almost done. So as time goes on, you realize that things are going to be simple, because with these birds, when you take good care of them, they're going to start laying at least at week 16. And so by the 6th month, you are going to be able to sell the eggs, and then you use that very money to buy the feeds, and you get a little profit out of that. So don't worry, start small, and take good care of the birds, and then you'll be able to grow the farm. You can actually bring them in shifts like I did. You bring this number and you brood it. When you are successful, you bring another number, you brood it like that. Oh, thank you so much for watching. I believe you found something very helpful in this video, and if that is so, please subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends. Do not forget. Thank you so much. Goodbye.